Learning Microsoft Azure is always fun to me. I always enjoying learning and creating those resources within Microsoft Azure platform. It doesn't matter whether I create it for any organization or even for myself. Even right now, I'm making this video, and whenever I have to create these resources, I always enjoying every bit of it. And I'm sure, and I'm assuming and believe that you are also enjoying learning with me with these all different videos I'm creating for you guys. Till date, whatever we have learned, we simply follow browser-based experience, and for that, we simply open a browser, type portal.azure.com and start creating our resources. Obviously, because till date, we just create 1, 2, or even 3 resources at the same time. But what if your organization said, hey Harsh, I need 1,000 or even 10,000 Azure virtual machine. Please create it for me and I need it in a quick time. Then you need to think, okay, I recently created one virtual machine. It took approximate 4 minutes. Now just think about how much time 10,000 VMs will take for you. So actually these kind of questions always comes in your mind when you actually join any organization. Don't worry guys, I have solution and I have some more information for you, because we have alternatives, we have other ways so that how we can manage our Azure resources with the easiest way. Hello guys, my name is Harsh, and in this video we will talk about many different alternatives and the ways how we can managing our Microsoft Azure platform using these options. To start with, let's go with very first point, that is Azure Shell. In recent video, actually I give one quick example that how you can leverage Azure Shell, where actually we open Azure Shell and use Powershell, although we have another option called Bash, which can be used by Linux administrators or Linux admins. So basically we just use a script or a kind of PowerShell command to create and build our resources. So this is another way in terms of when we have to create resources in bulk. You simply need to create a script for one time and use the same script with the slightly modifications. And yeah, you can simply create those virtual machines or resource groups or even other kind of resources with ease and in a quick time. The second option we have is Azure CLI. The Azure CLI is all about the command line interface, which we can actually create and deploy on any operating system we are using nowadays. People like to use Windows. Obviously, in Windows, we have Windows PowerShell. You can simply import a module regarding Azure module, which will help us to run the commands straight from our Windows platform or Windows operating system. But what if we have Linux operating system, which we are using in day-to-day life, and of course we are also using Mac nowadays. But don't worry guys, Microsoft Azure gives us also a CLI mode and install some packages on these Linux and Mac operating system, where you can also start using these scripts to build infrastructure within Microsoft Azure platform. Don't worry, I have one example for you in today's video. The next one we have Azure Portal, which I believe it's a traditional way, because every time whenever we have to create a resource, I think we always use Azure Portal. Yeah, it is a good point where we are trying to do it for the first time, and I think it's gonna be very much helpful because it gives us all the information that what kind of things we can see during the deployment. Because if you are aware that what information Microsoft Azure asks us, then according to that you can create your scripts and infrastructure and kind of common building scripts. Don't worry, these common building scripts which we will use in upcoming videos, I will tell you with step-by-step guidelines as well. And the last one we have is Azure Mobiles and APIs. So yeah, basically guys, if we are using Android phones or Android tablets, similarly if we are using iOS platform for iPhones, iPad, all these platforms have Microsoft Azure applications which can help us to manage our resources with ease. Don't worry, in today's video, I will also show you that how you can manage your resources by using iOS experience. Currently, I don't have Android, but yeah, I do have iPad. But don't worry, guys, both Android and iOS experience can give you the similar kind of information which you can see in today's video. And the last one we have APIs. It's all about the application programming interface, which means if you like to create an application for your organization and you would like to build infrastructure within Azure, you can simply use Microsoft Azure APIs and just build in these APIs in your own application, which can help you or your organization to simply create those resources straight in Microsoft Azure. I think we have today's lots of fun and today lots of things to discuss. So guys, let's begin and try to understand as much as we can that how you can managing your Microsoft Azure resources with different ways or alternatives we have right away. So guys, as I mentioned, we have many ways to access and manage our resources. So at least we should know that how we can leverage these resources in the real time. So to do the practical, or to at least understand these options via a practical, before that, let's go and do a recap once again, so that it will give us a clear picture that what exactly we are doing and how to do it in real time. So the very first one we have is Azure Shell. Just a recap that Azure Shell is all about the browser-based experience where Microsoft Azure gives us an option to manage and access our resources using PowerShell or Linux Bash. It's pretty easy way, and obviously it's an interactive way to create your resources, manage your resources. And in today's video, I will also show you how you can create these resources with ease. Don't worry, it's not that difficult. So to understand that how you can use Azure Shell, let me take back you to the Azure Shell and show you that how you can start creating and using Azure Shell to build your infrastructure within Azure. Alright guys, so finally we are on our Azure portal, and here let me show you how you can access your Azure Cloud Shell. And yeah, there are two ways to access your Cloud Shell, but let's start with very first one from Azure Portal. So as soon as you logged into Azure Portal, just on the right upper hand corner, you have option called Cloud Shell. So as soon as you click on this, you can find it automatically try to connect with the PowerShell and the Bash using Azure Shell, where you can execute from both level, from Linux Bash as well as Windows PowerShell. So right now we are connected with the PowerShell, and just for your reference, if you're doing for the very first time, it may ask you to create a storage account, because that storage account is used for to store information about the commands you have run, and so that you can try to access your previous commands, the history, you can get all those information. Not only that, the Azure Cloud Shell also allows you to upload your created script on your machine and use those scripts to create resources. Don't worry, right now in just a minute or two, I will show you how you can actually upload your script and how you can use to create your Azure VMs as well. Now, this is one of the way, and I think you're pretty much already clear about this, how you can access. The another way is to use, just type in the browser, shell.azure.com. So as soon as you type, it asks you which directory you would like to use to create these resources. So I choose as a default directory as an example, and here we go. It automatically connects to the PowerShell, and you can start creating or build your infrastructure within Microsoft Azure with ease. Now, as I mentioned that if you are a Linux administrator, you can also use Linux Bash. So to access that, simply click on this PowerShell or drop down menu and click on Bash. As soon as you click, it asks you, are you sure you like to access Bash? Just confirm. Then automatically it takes you to this place, and there you go. You can start typing your Linux Bash commands and the script, just upload the script and start creating your resources in the Bash. It's pretty handy, and I think it's pretty helpful, especially if you are on the go, because all the time we may not have access of these operating systems, but at least we do have access of our mobile phones where we can access these both bash and PowerShell commands to create our resources. So guys, just to mention that how much actually easy to create resources within using this PowerShell or bash, I will show you with one example. Currently, actually, I have created one PowerShell script, and just to simplify that what exactly inside the PowerShell script, I open that PowerShell script for you. So in this particular script, I actually just create a username, Harsh admin, the password, blah, blah, blah. Then I created a resource group name called Harsh ALab test. And after that, I also like to create a new VM named HA-Lab VM1. This is the name of the resource group. The image, the operating system image. Then I give the size, means what kind of VM size I'm going to use after creation of this VM. The location, the region, East US2. The admin password, which I have already created above, and the password and the zone. I'm talking about availability zone. That's all. That's all you need to do. You can simply copy this script and create multiple VMs at the same time. Now the point is how you can achieve and how you can think that this would be quite helpful and faster way to create your VM. Don't worry, let me show you now. So if you go back to the shell, so what Microsoft Azure Cloud Shell allows you to achieve is you can simply upload your script straight in Azure Shell, and you can use those scripts to start creating your whatever the resources you like to create. So as an example, here's an option called upload. This particular icon is for upload and download files. So currently just click on upload, and on my desktop I have Harsh Arena Azure VM create script. So as soon as you select the script, click open, it automatically uploads this script to the whatever, the storage account we have actually created during the first time of deployment of the Cloud Shell. Once it has been successfully uploaded, simply type / or whatever the script name. My script name is Harsh Arena Azure VM create script.ps1. That's all. Because everything is already done, just simply press enter, and you don't need to click anywhere. You don't need to worry about anything. It automatically starts creating your resource group. It automatically starts creating your virtual machine. Don't worry, I will show you, because right now you can see running. It means the resource group creation has been done, and currently it is creating an Azure virtual machine. Now you find how much faster and how much easy it is to simply creating your virtual machine. Now think about the 1000 VM. It doesn't matter, because when you have a script, you can simply copy, paste, and rename the Azure VM's name or resource group name, whatever the requirement you guys have. Simply replace those information and upload script, just one command, /script name. And that to be all. Obviously, it will take some time because Microsoft in the backend is creating and checking with the orchestrator whether all resources are available in that particular region. But yeah, this will really help you to quickly deploy your resources. Now let me go back and show you the name of the VM, whether we can see any information is like creating or something. So I'll go to virtual machines. So if I go to virtual machine, and you can find creating, and this is the name of the VM, HA-Lab VM1. And just to show you, I actually added in the script as well. This is the name of the VM, HA-Lab VM1, right? So guys, I mean, now you can think how much easy and how much great it is to simply use Cloud Shell or another alternative ways to create your resources, especially in terms of when we have to create a bulk one. I think you find this a little bit helpful. Now let's move forward and try to understand how we can make our operating system ready to run these commands or whatever the script we have to create or build resources straight from the operating system, not from the Cloud Shell. The next one we have is Windows PowerShell. Exactly, you can achieve the same outcome we just tried and tested in Azure Cloud Shell, but this time you are doing straight from your operating system. So imagine right now I'm running Windows 10 and I would like to create some resources in Azure. You can do that, but just to achieve that outcome, you first need to install AZ module. There are two ways to install that. One, via command. Obviously, I will show you in a minute. And another one is to simply download the MSI package. After install this package, you need to reboot the server as well. That's my recommendation. Obviously, it won't ask you to reboot, but it would be good that to make these changes, it is always good to reboot our operating system. So just to show you that once you download this package from the link, you can find straight in your download place, and you can find this one. The version should be 4.6.0 at the moment. Obviously, it can keep improving by Microsoft Azure team, and you can find a different version altogether. So simply double click and install this package manually, which is pretty easy. You won't find any different or difficulty in that step. But I would like to show you that how you can install via a command prompt as well. I mean, you don't have that power to download, or at least you don't want to use MSI package to install this old AG module. You can also use a command prompt to achieve that. But just to show you first the outcome, I have already installed and configured this AG module on my machine or Windows PowerShell at the moment. As you can see, I can find a couple of commands with add-az in the end. By default, you won't find the same on your own operating system. So to achieve that, we need to run the command which I mentioned already right here. And yeah, just to show you how to do it, it's pretty easy. I think you don't need this, but yeah, just as a part of a practice, let me show you. I have actually created one operating system for you for that, which is right here. So this is also Windows 10. So let me just log in first. As soon as I logged in, I need to just open Windows PowerShell. Obviously, you can open Windows PowerShell, which is right here, or ISE, because ISE can give you even more information what exactly is going on during the installation. So I just simply right click and make sure you run PowerShell as administrator. So as soon as you run, you need to type one particular command, which I already showed you, but let me show you that what kind of information you can see after run this command. So here you need to type, or I can just make a little bit big. Let me just make this zoom in a little bit because I want to show you in a better way. So zoom in, and one last time, zoom in. That's all. So you need to type a command, install module. That's the first one. What is the name of the module? It should be AZ, because that's exactly the name right now. After that, you need to select repository, because we need to select the repository, what exactly it is. And right now the repository should be PS gallery. You need to type this and make sure you select force, because that can help us to download and install all the components related to this package. So as soon as you press enter, it automatically starts downloading and installing those packages. And before that, I think it's gonna ask you, are you sure? Or you can go ahead by pressing yes. So just wait a while. Yeah, exactly. This is what I was talking about, because it's trying to connect to the NuGet provided version and all that newer version. So press yes. Then after that, it automatically start installing the package. I think it's not that difficult, right? It's pretty easy. Because on the right hand side, you can see that I do not have any AZ package installed on my machine. But right now it's downloading the package from this source and it automatically installed after some time. I have tested and tried because of my internet connection. It took approximate for me just 7 minutes approximate, or right now maybe less than that, it based on the internet connection you have. So once it is installed, as I mentioned, reboot the server and your packages are ready to use. Once it is ready, you can start just typing your script and it will help us to straight away logged into the cloud, and you can access your all information right there. The only thing, just to make sure before to type in this command, you need to type this command after that. Yeah, exactly. Login dash AZ account, because this will allow us to log in with the account. And after that, whatever the commands you're running or you can see above in this screen is going to take effect. Otherwise, means this PowerShell won't know that where exactly you need to run this command. So you need to make sure you type in the username correctly, because right now my username is Harsh IT Professional hotmail.com. Press enter. And yeah, what's the password? If username password is correct, just press sign in. And after sign in, automatically it shows that, okay, we are connected. Once it is successfully connected, it will show you how many subscriptions you have in your account that you can use to create your resources. Right now, as you can see, we have this tenant ID and we can start creating our resources straight away. So you find this pretty easy, right? Now let's move forward. So next one, we have Azure CLI. So just like I mentioned, if you are using Windows platform, so simply you need to download and install AZ module, and after that you can access your resources straight from the Windows PowerShell. But what about the different platforms like Mac, like Linux? So in that one, we do not have PowerShell straight away installed. So Microsoft has given us another option called Azure CLI, through which you can install these packages straight on this cross-platform operating system and start creating your resources from there. So to gather more information, I would highly recommend you to go to this particular link, which I mentioned in this slide, docs.microsoft.com en-us/CLI/Azure. And I think you can find very much interested information that how you can install Azure CLI on these different platforms. Let's do one thing. Let's go to the website, and here you can find more information about Azure CLI. So just like I mentioned, you can find the latest version currently is 2.11.1. And along with that, you can install on all these different platforms like Windows, Macs, Linux. In Linux, we have Ubuntu, Red Hat, CentOS, OpenSUSE, or even FreeBSDs, Docker containers if you want, or obviously Cloud Shell, which we just tried and we are aware now. So basically the purpose here to mention is once you are installed these packages to any of the Linux or Mac operating system, you can also start building your infrastructure from these operating system straight away. You don't need to connect all the time to the Cloud Shell. So to show you how and what commands is going to be used to install a kind of Azure CLI on Ubuntu or Linux platform, so I have actually created one lab for you. So right now I'm running a most recent flavor of Ubuntu, and let me open the terminal to start with. So I have opened the terminal, and don't worry guys, because whatever the commands I'm running, which will definitely take some extra time, but I will copy these commands to the description so that you can simply copy and use them for your own purposes. So right now, to start with the first command, make sure you have logged in with the root account so that it has all the privileges to run these commands. To start with that, I have actually copied these commands to a notepad so that I can simply copy and paste and avoid wasting our time, because some commands are quite bigger. So I just paste it, and to start with this, we have first apt-get to update all the packages. So what is the password? This is the password. So start updating these all information right here. Just need to wait, and hopefully it can install quickly. Because in previous practices when I was doing offline, it took approximate 10 to 15 minutes, which I really don't want you to wait. So I'll do one thing. I will run these commands and I will pause if it takes a little bit while. And I think here it may take some time. So let me pause and I will come back again for each command's completed, and I'll show you what information you can get after that. All right, so first command finished, and now we have the second one. Let me just copy that command for you, and you need to run this command right here, which will another take some time. Press yes, because you need to install the certificate. And yep, it's gonna be finished, I think, pretty soon. So once it is finished, we have the next one is all about curl, because we need to allow to make sure this communication efficiently to Microsoft Azure. So I'll give it a try. I'll wait for 100% to be completed this one, and then we will take and move forward to the next step. All right, so it was done quite quickly. It takes another 30 seconds, not more than that. Now let's type in the third command which we need to run, and this will allow us to make sure this package is to be accessible and just make sure all the information to be stored on this Ubuntu operating system. So this command is done. Then after that we have fourth command, which I'm going to run right now. It's here. Press enter, done. And after that, one more time, we will do one thing. We will type this command, paste, to get all these latest packages and updates, because we have made some changes above. This will be done quickly. And the last step is to install Azure CLI. So which is right here with this command, sudo apt-get install Azure CLI. So once you do that, it will start installing the package. And as I mentioned, it may take a little bit while because it has to install from scratch. And as you can see, the size is approximate 50 MB. Once it has been installed, then you need to type command AZ login, and that's all. You will connect with your account and you can start typing your commands in Bash and creating your resources like the way you always wanted. I think you'll find this a little bit helpful. At least it's give you the little bit confidence that how you can start proceeding with the installation of Azure CLI. So finally, we have remaining two options. One is Azure Portal and another one is Azure Mobile Applications and APIs. I think I don't want to bore you with the Azure Portal because every day we are using Azure Portal, and you guys are already aware it's all about browser experience, right? So just to access Azure Portal, you simply need an internet connection. That to be all, right? So let's move forward with the last options, that is Azure Mobile Application. Don't worry, in a minute I will show you that what kind of looks you can find in Azure application and how you can manage and do stuff in these applications. Another one we have is APIs, which I already explained that if you are a developer and you would like to create application for your own organization, you can use these APIs to build an application. And of course, you can simply create virtual machines or any kind of specific services within Azure. You just need to follow the Microsoft documentation to get the right APIs to embed within your own application. So don't worry, if you are a developer, you won't find any difficulty to achieve that. So just to show you, if I go to the website for the Microsoft, here's a REST APIs for virtual machines. So in case if I need to create an application to simply create a virtual machine, I click on this create or update, and here's a API information or the whole information about what exactly you need to understand about once you're building your own application. I'm not going to bore you again to explain all this information, because if you are a developer, it will be pretty much easy for you and make you understand how you can achieve that. So let's move forward and try to see that what kind of experience we can get in our iOS or Android apps. As I mentioned, currently I do not have Android applications, but yeah, you can find a similar experience in in iOS as well. So don't be confused. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. All right, guys, so now I'm on my iPad and I would like to show you that how you can manage your Azure resources from an iPad or like iOS, iPhone, any Android platform as well. It's pretty easy, pretty simple, because you need to just make sure which application you need to download. So simply you need to go to the App Store and make sure you have Microsoft Azure application, which is already been here because I searched for Azure and the very first applications comes here is Microsoft Azure. Make sure you have this application, and once you install this application, you need to simply go to this application to start accessing your all kind of resources you have created. So I click on Azure. So here I actually was managing some of the resources. This is the front screen you can find, and here you can see you have virtual machine, web application, SQL, application inside, or even you can find more information if you simply type here, and you can get more information on what tenant currently you are in which directories you are in, and currently what account you are using to managing these resources. However, if you like to manage your virtual machine, simply click on virtual machine, and here it can show you all the list of the current available virtual machines. If you like to access any one of them, simply click one of them, and here it can show you all the details you would like to see from the iPad application. If you go to the bottom, you can find stop, restart, connect. Means you can stop this VM, you can restart this VM, and you can connect this VM, because if you have installed Microsoft RDP application on this iPad, you can also do the RDP access straight from the iPad itself. So pretty handy, right? So in case if you like to see any other VM which is currently available, you can get more information. As you can see, currently the status is unavailable because virtual machine is stopped. So similarly, you can simply click start, and it will ask you, are you sure you want to start? And you can click start, and it automatically start the VM for us. And that's how we can, managing our resources from an iPad application or any mobile application. It's pretty good, guys. You should have this application installed so that you can do maximum practice on your iPad or whatever the mobile phone you are using at the moment. Alright guys, so finally we have finished an understanding on how you can access your Azure resources. I hope you find this video quite helpful and informative, and obviously now you are aware that how you can actually access your Microsoft Azure services from all these available services from Microsoft end. So right now guys, please take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, please take care of your health, because COVID is still there for us. We need to take care of ourselves and our family. So for right now, just keep learning with me and try to gather as much as knowledge you can get so that you can use this knowledge in your real job role. So for now, please take care. Have a good time. Thank you for watching. Peace.